I want to welcome everyone to our annual induction dinner, our ceremony. This event actually is one of my favorite, if not my most favorite event of the year, because it's not about pomp and circumstance. It's not about anything that sort of gets out of the way of the ultimate mission of this college, but it's about our very best students and celebrating our very best students on a night that is special to us as resident members, and I think special to the night of the college, as a special night for the college as a whole. So I'm grateful for your attendance and your presence here. This is amazing to say our 1, 2, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta. So you guys are our ninth annual induction ceremony. So you are part of the YOTA class. President Griswold could not join us tonight, unfortunately, so I'm sort of ad-libbing right now to open and welcome you to this dinner. But what will happen is I will, first of all, introduce our provocator, if you will. He is an alumnus who will be inducted with you folks tonight. I'll introduce him in a moment. We'll then have dinner, and after dinner, as the dessert course is being brought out, we'll begin our induction ceremony formally. So let me just run back there and let them know they can start bringing out the salad since we don't have President Griswold, and then I'll be right back. Talks amongst yourselves. Well, now I have to talk even longer, so what more can I say? So actually what I can do is also welcome our special guests tonight, first representing the Dean's Office, Patrice DeQuinzio, who I know many of you know, and two emeriti faculty, Tom and Christine Pabon, who were, Christine Pabon was a teacher of Michael McGinniss, who again is our alumnus inductee tonight. So welcome to all of you. I'd like to introduce Professor Michael McGinniss, class of 1990. He is an associate professor of law coming to us tonight from the University of North Dakota. So he's, although as he said to me this afternoon, it's pretty much the same temperature in North Dakota as it is here now, though they get the -20, wind chill plus factor, all that stuff. So he was walking around without a coat, so it gives us a sense of his hardy spirit. Mike graduated, as I said, in the class of 1990. He finished first in his class, won the George Washington Medal. His name, we walked through Bill Smith Hall and saw his name engraved there on that august plaque. He then went immediately to law school, to College of William Mary and the Marshall Wythe Law School, where he also did splendidly. He then moved back to the Mid-Atlantic area, working in Delaware for a number of years before the itch of teaching caught up with him, I guess, finally. And he left a very successful career in Delaware and began his career teaching at the University of North Dakota. I'll limit my remarks to that because I want Mike to tell you his story, because that, again, is most important on this special night where you're going to hear from someone who was, like you, in your shoes not too long ago. Before there was a chapter of Phi Beta Kappa, but certainly Mike would have been a member of this prestigious honor society. So I'll leave it to him to tell his story. I think it's a very interesting and sort of inspiring story, and I welcome him back to Washington College. Mike McGinniss.
Thank you, Dr. Walsh, for that very gracious introduction. I'm very privileged to be with you this evening, deeply honored to have been selected for this prestigious recognition and induction, and truly grateful to be reunited with professors who have made such a profound difference in my life. The Greek philosopher Socrates, as portrayed in the writings of his student Plato, relished the search for understanding, including of oneself, through the defining of words and the concepts that the words express. He regularly engaged in spirited dialogues with his fellow Athenians to explore the meaning of word concepts such as justice, wisdom, courage, and temperance. These word concepts exemplify the qualities of character and principles of ethical life that may be broadly described as virtues. In the Nicomachean Ethics, Plato's student Aristotle further examines the nature of the virtues, seeking to answer the question, what is the good life for humankind? For Aristotle, the ultimate telos, or supreme good for human beings, is eudaimonia, which is often translated from the Greek as flourishing. In Aristotle's moral philosophy, the virtues are qualities the possession of which will enable an individual to achieve eudaimonia, and the lack of which will frustrate his movement toward that telos. Among the moral virtues that Aristotle identifies are justice, courage, and honesty, and among the intellectual virtues is phronesis, usually translated as practical wisdom. Despite their significant differences, for both Socrates and Aristotle, the purpose of ethical inquiry is to understand goodness so that one is able to become a good person and to act as a good person should. My outstanding undergraduate education in the liberal arts at Washington College provided me with a rich foundation of knowledge for engaging in a life filled with ethical inquiry. My immersion in the humanities, with a major in English and an array of studies including philosophy, economics, world literature, and political science, inspired me to seek out a path for flourishing through the pursuit of a legal education. Almost 29 years ago, in 1986, I began my studies as a freshman at Washington College with courses in English literature, philosophy, creative writing, and economics. I distinctly recall it being a very beautiful and very hot August morning at 9:30 a.m. when I nervously took a seat in a classroom at Smith Hall for my first class at the college. Dr. Richard Gillen entered the room and with his unassuming air and wide smile made me feel immediately at ease and very eager to listen and learn from him. And as I quickly found, he was not only the kindest and most personable professor one could ever hope to know, but also a brilliant teacher and scholar who inspired me to reflect deeply about the beauty and meaning of the literature that we studied. Seeing his enthusiasm for the material and his devoted care in teaching it made me all the more motivated to work very hard on the essays that we were assigned to write for class. I wanted to impress him and show him how much I cared about the material as well. By the time I graduated in 1990, I had taken every English course he taught and was greatly enriched by every aspect of those experiences. My only regret is that in my years at Washington College, they preceded the Kipling Hall program, in which Dr. Gillen leads students on a summer journey, exploring the lands where the 19th century English Romantic poets, including my personal favorite, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, found their own inspiration. And some of you may have enjoyed an opportunity to participate in that program. In that same freshman fall semester, I also took my first course in philosophy, an honors seminar taught by an absolutely wonderful professor, Dr. Robert Anderson. We studied selections from a variety of Aristotle's works, including the Nicomachean Ethics and his account of the virtues, Immanuel Kant's fundamental principles of the metaphysics of morals, and Soren Kierkegaard's Fear and Trembling. Each of those thinkers, whose ideas Dr. Anderson brought to life in the classroom with such brilliancy and passion, had a tremendous influence on my own understanding of ethics and moral philosophy. And in the years since I've entered the academic world, as a professor myself, each of these philosophers, especially Aristotle and Kierkegaard, have figured prominently in my teaching and in my scholarship in the field of legal ethics. I was also privileged to have as a professor Christine Pabon. I distinctly remember in a world literature class I took on Cervantes and Shakespeare, just the brilliance of the teaching, the richness of the ideas, bringing these two great writers together and seeing the comparison, comparing the works and seeing the ideas brought to life meant so much to me. It was one of my favorite classes at Washington College. And I also remember and was sharing with her earlier what a privilege it was to be able to come to her home and have an evening of enjoying Cervantes and Shakespeare and just having that, what it felt like to be welcomed and have that be such a good experience as well.
Melody Sophia Bishop. Adele Katina Bovis. Nick John Carasanesi, Jr. James Dalton Chillog. Rachel May Dillaplane. Oh, okay. In absentia. Francesca Micheline De Paula, also in absentia. Valerie Ann Dunn. Sarah Florence Giordano. Emily Rachel Iller. Sierra J. Jessamy, in absentia. Sean Phillip Kraus. Paige Catherine Kuby. Kevin Thomas Lair. Zachary Edward Leppert. Alexandra Vernon Levy. Elizabeth Ashley Loisel, in absentia. Michael Stephen McGinniss, class of '90. Denise Marie Meal. Donald Michael Moran. Jacqueline Marie O'Connell. Kirsten Nicole Paul. Kendall Louise Rich in absentia. Jenna Lynn Roge in absentia. Andrew George Southoff. Mariel Ann Schilling. Adam C. Smith in absentia. Ashley Nicole Sowers. Eleanor Blair Towers. Abigail Lynn Urbanik. Hannah Elizabeth Weiss. Anna Elizabeth Young. Madeline Nicole Zins. Ladies and gentlemen, the Yoda class of the Theta of Maryland. So please enjoy the coffee and cheesecake and further conversation with your new members and with us, the resident members of the Theta of Maryland. I know many of you will be off to the library or to studying right after this. But my parting thought to you tonight is this, that you folks, now the newest members of our chapter.
Sorry.
Okay. You folks are the latest of a long line of excellent graduates, soon-to-be graduates, in the liberal arts and sciences, and we need you more than ever. We need you in your office spaces. We need you in your graduate school environments. We need you across the lunch counters at whatever you wind up doing in 6 months' time, in 2 years' time, in 6 years' time. We know that your first job will probably not be your last job. And so you have an opportunity to offer to the world, to give the world a sense of what liberally educated people do. Turn your fifth floor fishbowl into a liberal arts seminar room. Talk to people about the power of ideas, not so much about actions and consequences, because that's what the other real world focuses on, but more about the power of ideas, and perhaps even more fundamentally, to get back to what Professor McGinniss was talking to us at the beginning of our evening, the power of words, the power of language, how those words form into ideas, and those ideas, of course, turn into actions and consequences. That's just one piece of the liberal arts puzzle. But we need you folks, the youth, the youngest generation, the newest people out there in the real world, to be talking to the rest of the world about what we do here at Washington College and also at other great colleges and universities around the country. So once again, congratulations. Please, again, thank you, Professor McGinniss, for gracing us in your return to Chestertown. For those of you who didn't have a chance to speak with him, he'll be at breakfast tomorrow morning at 8:30. At the new Career Center, so an opportunity to talk to him about his experiences here at Washington College. Maybe you're thinking about law school as a potential landing place soon into the future. I know he will be very happy to talk to you about that. So 8:30 tomorrow in the Career Center. But otherwise, enjoy the rest of your evening, and once again, congratulations.